Now we're moving on to the gadgets. Now this is going to be very interesting because there's a lot of good gadgets and obviously specializations. We're going to be talking about all the new stuff that got added. So in season 2, we do have the gateway, which is the new ability or the new gadget for lights. This gadget is insane. Right now there is a bug in the game. I don't know if it's a bug. They technically haven't like specified, but there's unlimited range on the TPs. Before it was 70 meters. So I'm looking for them to maybe make a statement or fix that because being able to just TP across the entire map is really good for rotations or to just make like dive plays, like throw your heavy into a gunfight, have them pounce on someone, either a light or a medium. I think the gateway instantly came into the meta is top tier right now. You see it in basically every loadout for light. So we all know invis is probably one of the most annoying things in the game right now. A lot of people want invis nerfed. It is definitely the easiest to use on light, but if you want a little challenge, I think the dash is very good, but you just get caught out in the open sometimes. But people, what they do is when they're running a dash build, they also pair it up with the vanishing bomb, which is a really good combo. Even though you don't have the invis technically on, you can use the vanish bomb. Also, this works with your team. I'm pretty sure they just buffed the vanishing bomb, so now it has like 1 or 2 more seconds of time that you're invis. So you can do a lot of plays with that. I'd definitely put them both in above average. Now, the biggest thing that changed with light, other than the gateway being added to the game, is the glitch grenade change. Recently, what they did was now if you use a glitch grenade, if you throw successfully on either a dome shield or a heavy that's holding the mesh shield, they will instantly be glitched into direct impact, which basically changed the meta entirely. And light is so much better now, especially against combating against double heavy teams. So the glitch grenade is probably one of the best gadgets, if not the best in the game. Gateway grapple glitch is my favorite. What grapple glitch? Oh, you're saying gateway grapple with the glitch. Wow, so you use grapple. That's pretty interesting. Honestly, I will put the grapple in average just because, like, sure you can get to heights and you can retake high ground. It's just not as good as everything else that light has to offer. So you kind of want to be putting yourself at a disadvantage if you use a grappling hook. But if you're using a sniper build, getting up to high ground could also help you. So I'd say the grappling hook is probably best when you're accompanying it with the sniper. So I've also used flashbangs in this meta. I just don't think the flashbangs are good. It's so hard to get value out of them and actually flash. I think I have like one interaction where I flashed a team, I saved my teammate, and it actually like did something. So I'm gonna put the flashbang. It's either below average or average. If you didn't know, flashbangs in this game are kind of similar to like CS, Valorant, where if you're not looking directly at the flash, you're not gonna get flashbanged. Next, we will do the gas grenade. I really like the gas grenade. If you guys do not know, gas actually got reworked in this meta. It ramps up damage over time, so the longer you sit in gas, the more damage it's going to deal to you, which makes it like that much more of a threat. You can't just sit in gas anymore. So yeah, I'm definitely going to keep the gas grenade in above average. Also, frag grenade is definitely an above average. It's probably the most lethal gadgets you see a light run, either frag grenade or gas grenade. Definitely the best you can use. And then, oh, we're forgetting about the stun gun. The stun gun is definitely top tier. It's very strong. If you like 2v1 in a heavy, you stun the heavy, your heavy has that much more of an advantage over the other player if they can't use their abilities. Thermal vision. Ooh, this is kind of very interesting because this tier list kind of changes for everything depending if you're in the final round or the knockout rounds. Thermal vision in the final round is very good to counter other lights. I just can't see it going average because of how strong it is to counter other lights. I think maybe we can keep it in average because it's not as good. In the knockout rounds, you're going to probably want something different. So it's either above average or top of average because I've been using this a lot recently to counter other lights. It's very good and it has a long duration. So maybe we're going to keep it at the bottom of average, or at the top of average, or the below of above average. Just because it's that strong in the final round to counter the other lights. Breach charge, you barely see anyone use the breach charge. Sure, it's good for delaying time and dropping the cash out, or just like getting into like certain locations you want to go. But I just don't think the breach charge is that good. You only get one charge of it, and it doesn't do that much damage. Motion sensor, don't see that many people use the motion sensor. I guess I probably could put it below average because it's probably like the motion sensor and the smoke grenade, probably the most the gadgets I see the less out of like any other gadgets in the game. Also pyro, grenade, literally all four of these I barely see. I think pyro grenade definitely deserves a nerf because it just is not as strong. I feel like I sit in fire and it just like tickles me. It doesn't necessarily do that much damage like gas would do. Like gas is a threat if you're in the gas and you know you have to get away, but if you're on fire, you're not really that angry at it. Keep in mind, there's also goo barrels around the map. So why would you use a goo grenade when you could just like maybe grab a barrel around the map? Smokes, I don't see people use smokes at all. But I think this is a good tier list at the moment. Okay, we're moving on to medium. Medium is probably the most versatile with their gadgets in this game. you could use a lot of different things on medium and you can make it viable, even though there is like an absolute meta that is probably better. For example, healing beam is in the top tier. It's the best specialization you can use on medium. Even if your team gets punished for like peeking something, you can just heal them back up to full HP. And some teams, I see crutch very hard on the heals. So as long as the game has like a long health regen in this game, the healing beam will always be meta. So the best meta for medium, I would say, is zipline and jump pad. You see a lot of memes right now using double movement because the best composition in the game right now is double heavy medium, and jump pad and zipline is just very, very good to get your heavies into the fight. So the double movement loadout is probably the best loadout right now, obviously accompanied with the defibrillator. But the defib actually got one of the biggest changes in season 2. Now when you defib someone, it takes them like 3 seconds to materialize, and it's not an instant res now. It can be countered, but the fact that you still also have like a res in the fight, I would put the frag grenade and frag and gas grenade are definitely both above average. These are probably one of the utilities you see flexed most. Like you probably drop the zip line and then use either frag or gas grenade, but that's what I see a lot of mediums do. Pyro grenade, we're definitely put it below average. As I said, I think pyro needs a nerf overall in this game. I want fire to have a place in this game, but at the moment is not in the meta at all. Goo grenade, flashbang, same gadgets, all below average. For me personally, I would put the gas mine either in average or above average. Actually, I'm going to put the gas mine in average because there is now a counter to the gas mines, a very dark counter. Other than glitches, we now have the data reshaper in the meta. So this ability is only really good when you have like gas mine, C4, or anything on the point. Basically, it reshapes any of the utility into like a barrel. It could be reshaped into a chair, anything that's like not a threat. So say you're fighting on the cash out, you can use the data reshaper to get the C4, get the gas mines off a point. So now gas mine actually has another direct counter in the meta. So I'm gonna put in average just because this gadget's only useful when you know you're playing against a team that is using one of these, either a C4 on the point or you have a gas mine. It's very situational, but I think it is pretty cool to have in the game. Glitch trap, I'm going to put in below average. As I said, like now there's also a counter to glitch traps, even though glitch trap was never in the meta. You just gotta pray that someone hops on it, basically. It's not really the craziest like placements. Maybe on like Monaco when you're fighting in so many buildings and like the houses, running up staircases. But other than that, I just don't think the glitch trap is as good. I do want this to be better though, so medium has a way to also counter like heavies and stuff like that, but it's just not as good. I'm definitely gonna be putting the APS turret though into above average. It's definitely in the above average tier because not only does it counter 2 weapons, the grenade launchers, also it just deflects any projectiles, and also with glitches being so much more powerful this season, I think APS has a place in this meta even more. The one thing I wish they could do to APS turret is just increase the radius of it. If they increase the radius of APS turret, it's probably going to be very, very meta, and you probably will see all mediums use it. But at the moment, the radius is just a little too small, and sometimes you just don't capture whatever you're trying to deflect. Okay, so for turret, yeah, I'm probably going to put the turret in average also, because the turret is something you can also reshape. So yeah, the data reshaper being in the meta now just kind of like changes a lot of other things in the game. I'd say the turret definitely probably wasn't above average before. If anything, it's just like a nuisance on the map. Sometimes it does damage to you that like affects your gunfight, but most of the time it just like tickles you, as like I said, the fire does, and doesn't really kill you as much. Track and dart is certain grenade. We're not gonna do those because those are on light now. Going to explosive mine, I'm just gonna put that in average. It's definitely better than these. You can use these and get kills, but I would not have it any higher. Recon senses, if you guys do not know, Recon actually got taken out of the game completely and replaced with Dematerializer, which is the new specialization on medium. I was using this the first couple of days of the season, trying to cook with it. It was pretty good, and you can make a lot of plays. I think what they need to do is either add more charges to it. Right now, there's only 3, so you can either open or close up a hole, and it uses one of the charges. If they want to make this better, either make it to where like if you close up a hole it doesn't take a charge, or just add more charges. And once they do that, then you can have more skill expression with the dematerializer. But at the moment, I'm just gonna put it in, I mean, it could be above average also. I mean, I think it definitely has to be at the top of average, but it can be like if they just buff it, it can be very, very good. Dematerializer is very selfish. It's very selfish, and there's no world where I think using the dematerializer is better than heal beam. You're gonna always want to use the heal beam. There's no reason to use the dematerializer over heal beam unless you just want to use the dematerializer. But yeah, I think this is a pretty good list for medium. If there's anything that you guys think is wrong, now would be the time. But yeah, that's a medium light. Now, I'm going to be going over to heavy. As you see, this is the new gadget that they introduced with Season 2, the Anti-Gravity Cube. So it's kind of like a replica of the Alien Invasion. You throw it, there's a small radius, and it brings anything up into the sky, low gravity, also yourself or players. I think it's pretty cool. I still think C4, even with the nerfs, are better. So I'm probably gonna put the anti-gravity cube in average or above average, but it's definitely not top tier. You can make it work, and you can delay times. Like say you throw this in a choke point, like in doorway, then the team can't push you because they'll be in low grav. Once again, the cube is useless. Wow, I think the cube is absolutely useless. I think it has to be an above average just because of the delaying power it has. And it's really, really good actually if you're at any type of cash out location that's outside. So I think I'm gonna have to have the anti-gravity cube in above average at least. All right, we're just gonna go ahead and put the flashbang, pyro need, all this in the below average, and then pyro mine also in below average. Because not only is it fire, it's a mine also that's hard to hit. You can get data reshape now, but I mean the fire is just not that strong in this game. So hopefully they buff that at some point. Okay, I've been seeing a lot more people use charge and slam. I think the charge and slam and mesh shield are both top tier. This is my, like, I swear the charge and slam is very, very strong, especially in this meta where it's double heavy meta. So you have one heavy with the mesh shield, one heavy with the charge. You can use this to delay the cash out. You can come from a height, drop down on someone, get them off the cash out, or just charge right into them, get them off the cash out. Especially if someone like a heavy is holding a shield for a medium stealing. It is very, very strong. I've died to the charge and slam a lot this season. Okay, we're gonna definitely put RPG in the top tier, and I've seen a lot more barricades this meta. Now that the dome shield, well, yeah, I'm putting all this in top tier, bro. We know how strong heavy is, bro. Even with the C4 nerf, heavy is still crazy. They did nerf C4 right now in the meta. You only have one C4 in your inventory off the cooldown, but you can place one C4 down, let the cooldown come up, and then throw another C4, and then you have two. C4 is still really good in fights. It's still really good to drop the point. You can also use this mid fight. You can throw your C4 and RPG it to do damage. Slam on power shift is sweet. Ooh, the power shift game mode. Yeah, a lot of people like the power shift game mode. It's pretty good. So I'm definitely gonna put gas grenade also here. Even though you don't see any heavies run gas grenade or frag grenade, I think they're both pretty good to run, especially in this meta. Because right now, like C4 can kind of be replaced. So maybe you could see heavies use the gas grenade, frag grenade instead of using C4. But the fact that the C4 is so good for dropping the cash out, I think it has to stay top tier. For goo gun, maybe we're gonna put goo gun in above average. I've seen a lot more people try to use a goo gun, and then they also like pair this up with either the sledgehammer or any shotgun. Honestly, if you goo someone and then you have them trapped in the goo for a specific amount of time, it's very good to stop well, to just get free kills. Honestly, explosive mine is probably the only thing that I'm gonna put in average, or maybe I could put the goo gun in average. It's either or. Goo gun is either above average or average. I don't see that many heavies use it, so maybe I'm gonna keep it in average. But it is definitely viable. You could use it, but using the goo gun means you're giving up either charge and slam or mesh shield, which is just levels above. And then also goo gun has a terrible counter, well, a crazy counter, and it's fire. You can find any flame barrel around the map and counter someone that's using the goo. Hopefully I, went through everything correctly and I didn't miss anything. But I think this is all perfect, honestly. As I said, like I'm someone who plays light, medium, and heavy, so I have hours on every single class.